Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, John Phillips, and here to talk UNT football, I have Maddie Holston and Bowie Devlin. Guys, we're coming off a great bounce-back game against UTSA, 55-17. How you feeling about the team going into the UTSA game, or going into the Charlotte game?
I think there's going to be a great, on both sides, offense and defense. I believe it's going to be just complete football, and I see us walking out with a big win.
I agree, Bowie. I think that UNT is in a really good spot right now. Charlotte is 1-6, where UNT is 6-1. So I think that Drew Messmaker is going to lead that offense to drive the ball, get many touchdowns.
Charlotte has definitely struggled a lot recently, but you guys don't think that this could be a trap game? I mean, this kind of has all the makings. We're playing a big game against Navy next week. You know, we just came off of a big win, and Charlotte is a team that you overlook. I mean, do you think that UNT can stay focused for this game?
I think they will. I mean, Charlotte is 14th in the conference. I don't think that this is going to be a trap game. I don't think it's something we should worry about. And if it is, then we'll be humbled.
That's fair. I mean, if we were to worry, Bowie, what would worry you about Charlotte? What's their strengths? You know, what do they do best?
I mean, the only thing that I see that really scares me would be their passing attack. But, I mean, even against that game where they were playing USF and they put up a good amount of points in the first half, it still looked kind of So, I mean, really just got to watch the pass, and after that, should be okay.
Yeah, that quarterback situation is very interesting because Charlotte has a dual quarterback system. They have Grayson Loftus for their, their throws, and then they have their dual threat, Zach Wilkie. Do you think that UNT is prepared to stop a system that plays two different quarterbacks?
I definitely think so. I think we have a strong defense, and I just think that Eric Morris is going to critique certain plays so that we can take those two quarterbacks down in the defense.
That's fair. Our defense has really been great. And honestly, Charlotte's, despite the rough start to the season, has been pretty good. In the games that they have been close in, they've held their opponents to like 24 points and, some close games, 20 points. I think that their defense is a little underrated. Do you hold that same opinion? How do you think their defense is going to do against Mestemaker?
I think Mestemaker is just going to ball out. I don't really see them containing him. I mean, besides USF, there hasn't really been any challenge for him. I think he's going to keep striving, and I see him walking out with 4 touchdowns.
That's fair. He's definitely a very key player, but I want to hear who are your guys' X factors for the game? Who do you think is going to be the most important for this game? Maddie, let's start with you.
Okay, I think the most important player of the game is going to be Caleb Hawkins. Number 24, he's a running back. He's a real true freshman. He's not a redshirt freshman. He comes from Shawnee, Oklahoma. He has the second most receiving yards in the last game against UTSA, and he has the first amount of rushing yards in the whole team. UNT has the #1 scoring offense in the nation right now, and so having him as our dual threat running back that he can run, he can catch, puts us in a really good spot. So that's definitely why he's my pick.
That's very fair. The offense is definitely the key part of this team. Bowie, who's your X factor?
It's got to be White Young. I mean, what he's brought to this offense, he's like Mestemaker's #2. He's like just everything that Mestemaker could have needed, and he's just averaging, 15 yards a catch, 26 receptions, and 396 yards with a few touchdowns. I just think that's everything a QB can ask for.
That's fair, and I also have an offensive player as my X factor. I think it's Mestemaker. He struggled against USF, like you said, and he did bounce back last week, but I want to see him continue putting in the work because he's getting on some award watch lists. I saw him on the Manning Award watch list this morning. He's getting some big buzz, so I really want to see him keep these performances, but let's get some predictions. How do you guys think we're going to do against Charlotte? Score predictions.
Score predictions? I think we're going to go 62-12.
That's a big win, Bowie.
I got UNT winning 40-13.
Some weird scores here, 13 points, 12 points. I think it's going to be a classic, 49-21, just a classic win. And if we continue this win, we could be back in that receiving votes, because we are 7-1 with a win here. I mean, do you think the season is going to get us back into the top 25?
I see us keep striving and going. I mean, right now as it stands, we have about a 17% chance to make the college football playoff. So realistically, it's all in our hands. We need to win out the rest of the games, keep playing like we're doing, and let Mestemaker cook.
Absolutely. Mestemaker has to cook, and we will see tomorrow against Charlotte. That's all the time we have. Next block, we will be talking about the NBA season opening. Join me after these commercials.
What does Talents do?
So I am the Vice President of External Relations for Talents. That means that I basically oversee all the external committees. Our external committees entail our Model A, it's a Mean Green Machine. So they bring it to football games especially, so every game it's kind of there, every home game. The Model A is like a symbol of UNC pride, and it's a big tradition that we are so lucky to uphold and maintain. When people look at it, they see it, and they're like, oh, that's the Mean Green Machine. There must be a game today or something to ramp up school spirit for basketball, softball, volleyball, any of those things. We have amazing teams, so we just want to show school spirit for them. Bonfire Committee, which is in charge of putting together the bonfire every year for homecoming. It's kind of just a whole semester-long process up until Build Week that we have to put together and oversee and make sure safety regulations are followed and risk management is taken care of. Cannon Crew, which oversees and takes care of the cannon. They fire it at games, they take it to special occasions.
What does Talents do?
So I am the Vice President of External Relations for Talents. That means that I basically oversee all the external committees. Our external committees entail our Model A, it's a Mean Green Machine. So they bring it to football games especially, so every game it's kind of there, every home game. The Model A is like a symbol of UNC pride, and it's a big tradition that we are so lucky to uphold and maintain. When people look at it, they see it, and they're like, oh, that's the Mean Green Machine. There must be a game today or something to ramp up school spirit for basketball, softball, volleyball, any of those things. We have amazing teams, so we just want to show school spirit for them. Bonfire Committee, which is in charge of putting together the bonfire every year for homecoming. It's kind of just a whole semester-long process up until Build Week that we have to put together and oversee and make sure safety regulations are followed and risk management is taken care of. Cannon Crew, which oversees and takes care of the cannon. They fire it at games, they take it to special occasions.
Welcome back, and here we are talking about the NBA season opener. Q Cherry, Christian Bursic. We just saw one of the games of the season already with OKC Houston. I mean, what a game. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, it started out like a dud. I thought that maybe we were going to watch not a great game. The three-pointers were not falling for either team. I was very surprised to see Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They shot the ball horribly from three, but as the game went on, they just got better from inside the arc and made it happen.
Yeah, because for the rest of the game, even OKC shots especially were not falling from three, but they still got it done. Q, what did you take away from that game?
What I take away, I mean, Shai's the best. What did he score, like 30?
35.
35. I'm assuming most of that coming out in fourth. And the
Like all
mini,
of it coming in the fourth, man. Like, oh my gosh.
mini overtimes. I mean, I thought Shai looked great. Besides the dud he had the first two quarters, he was like 1 for 6 from three.
Mm-hmm. It was really rough. It was some rough stuff. But, you know, talking about rough, we got to talk about the Mavericks game from last night. You know, it was not very good. They got blown out by the Spurs. What did you guys take away from the Mavericks' first game of the season?
That was the most entertaining 40 points I have ever seen a single human do. I knew. Oh, wait, whoa, hold on, wait. I'm gonna describe it to you. Wemby brings the ball up the court. Tween, Curry slide, step back, and one. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
Wembanyama, I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Wembanyama looked like maybe the best player in the entire league last night. He did whatever he wanted. He was shooting the ball. He was getting to the basket. He looked like Hakeem and Dirk and LeBron all mixed in one. I mean, do you think he's already in that top 5 status?
Yeah, I have to come out and state my biases. I am the biggest Lakers and LeBron fan ever, and I have to tell you, I immediately turned into one of those old head Jordan fans. I was saying, well, he wouldn't have done this in LeBron's era back in and I stopped and I was like, oh my gosh, this is how my parents were. Like, Wemby is here. Like, he's that good that I immediately, watching him play, all I could do was think about reasons to defend LeBron James. Like, he's that good that he makes me doubt if LeBron is that much better than everyone else, like I thought he was.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's just absolutely arrived. He looked like a monster. And, you know, there's some hype people. We had Wembanyama's hype, and he's lived up to it. Someone who didn't live up to the hype as much on opening night, Cooper Flagg. The debut, he had the double-double with 10 and 10, but it was an iffy game at point guard for him. How did you guys think he performed in his first game?
I was so mad he blew down from the top 5 discussion. Super mad. I mean, I think, you know, it's mid. Like, it's his first game. So even though he's the first overall pick, we expect him to break out a little earlier than the rest. But I don't know. It was okay. Like, he didn't do great. He didn't do bad. I'm sure he'll pick it up the next game. What was it, 4 for 10? 4 for 12?
Did you agree with his decision or Jason Kidd's decision to play Cooper Flagg at point guard to get him those ball handling reps from day one?
I mean, I would rather have like a traditional lineup, AD at the 4, Coop at the 3, and Gafford at the 5, and throw in D'Angelo Russell in there. I think that's a good lineup. I don't really agree with the lineup he set up, but yeah, no, I just don't agree with it. There's no but.
That's fair. Christian, how did you feel about the Cooper Flagg point guard minutes?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Jason Kidd and the point guard situation, because that was going to be my whole point, is that I think that was a really bad decision. I think that Cooper Flagg, as long as he's played at the point guard and asked to be the primary distributor, that it's going to hinder him. Like, he's not going to be as great as we know he can be, and it's because of Jason Kidd, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that greatness comes out throughout the season, and I hope that these point guard reps get him, more comfortable with the ball and more comfortable on offense. But we will just have to see for the rest of the season. That's all the time we have. Next blog, we will be talking about the World Series preview. Join me after these messages.
Wimby's not top 5.
The do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Welcome back to SportsZone. I am your host, John Phillips, and here to preview the World Series, I am joined by Jack Strepsha and CJ Vasquez. Guys, it is almost World Series time. We're in October. How are you guys feeling about it?
I'm personally excited about this time around. Like, usually there's NFL football going on, but the MLB World Series, it's just awesome during this time around.
Yeah, this is the most excited I've been about a World Series probably ever, in my opinion. I mean, a few shows ago, I did predict that the Blue Jays are going to win it all, so that has me excited, and just the way these two teams are playing leading up to this point. So
I mean, yeah, two absolute killers. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays have both looked incredible this postseason. Let's start with the Dodgers. I mean, they looked insane against the Brewers, who were the #1 seed in the National League, and the Dodgers made them look like they didn't even deserve to be there. What did you guys take away from that series?
I mean, for me, the Dodgers to blow out the Brewers and basically sweep them, it just gives them, a batting average of 118. And so it was the lowest ever in a postseason of these last 3 games. And the potential canvas is other teams will get more rest from this. And the Dodgers, they just didn't have to even lift a finger for this.
Yeah, you talked about it. They held them to such a low batting average because this rotation is just really putting out its best stuff right now. This Dodgers rotation, is anyone going to be able to get a hit off of it in the World Series?
that's going to be the question, because I know we were going to talk about, how the Dodgers, their bats haven't been that impressive this postseason, but they're still in the World Series. So how scary is it going to be, for Toronto if, game 1 they come out looking different than they've already have leading up to this point? So really impressive stuff that they're here just solely based off their dominance with the pitching.
Yeah, 2 earned runs from the starters allowed against Milwaukee. I mean, that kind of dominance you don't see very often. And Toronto, they have some hitters. They have Vladdy, they have George Springer, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get anything off these starter pitchers. They're going to have to get hits off of the bullpen, because this Dodgers bullpen, like always, is the biggest question mark. I mean, do you guys think this bullpen's going to be able to hold up in the World Series?
I think so. They seem like they got it together, so I think they will.
That's fair. And, we talked about the bats not looking great so far, but Game 4 against the Brewers really turned that around. I mean, Shohei, one of the greatest individual games, both batting and pitching. It was insane. I mean, do you think Shohei's going to continue this and maybe become World Series MVP in this series?
I mean, who's it going to go to if it's not him? If the Dodgers end up pulling it off. I mean, you can't talk about the Dodgers without talking about him. I think he really, Game 4 showed that he's the greatest, not just only the greatest MLB player, but maybe just the greatest athlete out there right now.
I think I might have to agree. CJ, how do you feel about that?
I think with Ohtani, he's just one of the most dangerous players right now in the league. Just consistently a power threat, and he just adds a different dimension for this Dodgers team.
That's fair. Game 1 is coming up. It's tomorrow, and I think it's going to be really important to set the tone for this series. And we saw today that the Blue Jays are starting rookie pitcher Trey Savage for the Game 1. I mean, how do you guys think he's going to hold up in this environment, in this big Game 1?
Well, being at home is going to be a huge factor, not just for him, but I think the whole Toronto team. If it was starting in LA, I think it'd be a much different story. And I think, their home crowd really is what pushed them to victory in Game 7. So home field advantage is going to be big time, and I think he'll hold his own.
Absolutely. He's only had, at this point, 5 major league starts in his entire career. Do you think that the run is going to end and he's going to get blown up in this Game 1?
I believe that they're still going to rise to the occasion. Just because they're young, they're still going to be freaking crazy out there. And so with these young players, they're going to handle the pressure and they're going to maintain their approach in the World Series.
That's fair. I mentioned the Dodgers bullpen earlier, and the Blue Jays have had maybe an even worse performance with their bullpen this offseason, and that's where all the lefties are. They have no lefty pitchers in their rotation, and against the Dodgers, you need left-handers to step up. Do you think this bullpen is going to be able to get outs against the Dodgers?
Well, the Dodgers are probably licking their chops. They're like, okay, we haven't been great batting so far, but if there's a time to do it, it's right now against the Blue Jays, who have struggled a little bit in that department here in the World Series. But if I'm the Blue Jays, I'm like, hey, you guys better be icing your elbows every night or something. We're putting the guys in who are going to give us the best chance of winning, no risks.
Yeah, we saw Kevin Gausman pitch in Game 7, and they're probably going to need some performances like that from some starters in the World Series to continue. But you said they were struggling on the pitching side. One side that they have not struggled at all is the hitting side. Vladdy has looked incredible. George Springer had the walk-off in Game 7. Do you think this hot hitting is going to continue into the World Series?
I believe so. I think it'll still continue. Just because with them being all right-handed, I think they're going to be just fine. There shouldn't be no worries about it.
That's fair, Jack. Do you see these bats holding up when it comes to this World Series?
They've been so consistent with offensive play going all the way back earlier to the season. So it would be a shame if they let down here in the last dance. But I think they'll be able to keep it going for sure.
Do you guys have any players you think are going to make a big impact that haven't been getting talked about enough? Any players you think are kind of going under the radar here?
I know you said it a little bit, but I think Springer, he's going to have to continue his play. That play is going to be remembered that he made in Game 7 in Toronto Blue Jay history for sure. So if he could do something again along those lines here in the World Series, that'll be huge for them.
Yeah, he is a proven playoff performer. That's someone you want on your team when it comes to this time of season, But
Absolutely.
Let's get some predictions. How many games do you think this is going to go, and who are your winners? Let's start with you, Jack.
I got to stand on it from what I said a few shows ago, although the Dodgers have looked phenomenal. And honestly, even though Game 1's in Toronto, I'd probably say the Dodgers are the favorites going into this just because how they've looked and dominated the one-seeded Brewers. But I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to go Blue Jays, but I think whoever does win the series, it'll at least be 6 games, but I'll say maybe 7-game World Series here.
That's very fair. CJ, what's your prediction?
I'm going to go opposite with Jack. I'm going to say that the Dodgers are going to sweep the Blue Jays. Ooh. Just the way that Ohtani is playing right now currently, and I just feel like you can't stop Ohtani. He's just that player, man. And they're just going to bounce back, just from just having that sweep against the Brewers, and they're going to do the same thing with the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's fair. The Dodgers have looked so dominant in this playoffs. It's tough to bet against them. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I respect the Blue Jays a little bit more than that. I think it's going to go 5, 6, maybe even 7. I don't really know. But we will have to see starting tomorrow. That's all the time we have. Next block, we will be talking about UNT women's soccer. Join me after these commercials. Welcome back to Sports Zone. We are talking Mean Green Soccer. Joining me are Ian Cropper and Tina Orozco. Guys, we got a tough draw against Rice this past week in a rivalry game, and right now we are playing USF. Game's not going great. We're down 1-0, but how you guys feeling about this team right now?
Right now, with Rice, we saw they do have potential. It came with a draw 2-2. They both only scored in the first half. They didn't kind of quite come through in the second half. They really just started early and just didn't keep that momentum for the second half.
Yeah, I agree. And overall, the Rice draw is great. I'm never going to complain about drawing against the number 2 team in the American Conference. But overall, we're 5-9-3 on the year with an abysmal 1-4-2 record in the conference. That is not great. We're currently ranked 9th, only ahead of Florida Atlantic and Temple. And it is encouraging that we did draw against the number 2 team, like I said, but there is still plenty to work on.
Yeah, and with this little time left in the season, we have to be getting wins because we're outside of the conference tournament right now. I mean, this USF game is really, really crucial. And like you said, we're down 1-0. Do you think that we're going to be able to recover and get a point from this game maybe, or maybe even a win?
I think we could, but again, seeing what we saw with Rice, they're not consistent with closing games and finishing their shots. They already have 6 fouls. They had 12 fouls last game, really giving Rice the opportunity to score off of them, which they ended up in a draw. But still, they're doing the same thing here. They're giving USF plenty of opportunity, and they're not securing their shots either.
And I do think UNT will make it close. It's not going to be the massacre that we saw when USF played our football team, but I do think that the Bulls are my favorite in this game. And the thing is, the teams actually have a lot of the same strengths and weaknesses. Both take a lot of shots, 254 for UNT versus 240 for USF before the start of this game. Both ranked towards the bottom of the conference in goals allowed. I believe it's 8th and 9th. And both have fairly weak save percentages. The difference is that USF is a lot more efficient with their scoring, and I think that's going to be the big difference here.
That's fair. I think we're lacking that really clinical striker. You know, we have Claire Niedermeyer, and she's good, but I don't know if she's that top conference level type of striker, you know. But with a win for USF tonight, they would be out of reach for us, you know, to make the conference tournament, and we would really have to rely on UAB dropping points. I mean, do you think that we're going to be able to catch up? We're on 5 points right now. UAB is on 9. There's only 2 games left in the season. I mean, it's looking real tight right now.
We also face Florida Atlantic too. All these next games that we have with these teams in this conference, they all excel in the midfield, whereas UNT does not do that. They need to emphasize forcing turnouts and turning over rebounds. I was at the game Sunday. There was a ton of opportunities in the rebound. There was no one in the corners to cover for them and then to score off of that. So
that's fair. Speaking of, you were at the game. Is there anything else that you saw? Any small little things you saw?
The tension there was insane. In the second half, there was a yellow card on Claire Niedermeyer. And that was a huge call, and no one agreed with it. UNT's fans and their team went crazy. It was not agreeable for anyone in there.
In those rivalries, of course,
there was also a call fairly early on that nullified a goal that would have made the score 3-2. That was huge.
Yeah, the refs definitely were heavily involved this game. It was very big, you know, but what players do you think are most important for this UNT game as we get into these last couple games? You know, Ian, who's your most important player?
For me, it's easily Mia Bernard. She's a junior, and despite not leading the team in shots, that's Niedermeyer, she actually leads the team in goals. She's one of the top 10 in the American Conference. She's been quietly having the best season of her career, already setting highs in goals, points, and shots. She's definitely the heart of this team. And I think if we are going to make a push to the tournament, it will be because of her.
Tina, who's your player?
I have Claire Niedermeyer. Offensively, she's super aggressive. Last game, she had 6 shots against Rice. She's only a sophomore, but still has so much leadership and so much control on the field. So I see her doing a lot for the team for the rest of this conference, conference games.
That's fair. My choice is Alina Arnett. You know, we need that goalkeeping to step up. You know, we need them to perform these last couple games. Hopefully we get the win tonight, but we'll have to see. Next block, we will be talking about some other soccer with the MLS playoffs coming after these breaks.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park.
Let's all try to keep our Mean Green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, John Phillips, and here to talk the MLS playoffs, I'm joined by Jacob Garcia and Gunnar Talbot. We just saw the playoffs kick off with the wild card weekend. How are you guys feeling at the start of these playoffs?
I'm pumped up, all right? This is awesome. Best time to be a soccer fan, an MLS fan, you know.
Playoff ball.
This is what's great about MLS, right? Like other leagues, like La Liga, Premier League, right? They play 38 games. It's all right. Who has the most points, right? We like elimination, all right, in America. we like fight, we like grit, we like seeing shit happen.
We have winner.
Yeah.
You have to be clutch. You have to be clutch in America. And people in DFW should also be hyped because FC Dallas made the playoffs after a clutch decision day win 2-1 over Vancouver, who is our first round opponents. I mean, do you guys think that win over Vancouver on the final day is going to carry some momentum against them in the first round?
I think it's going to carry a lot of momentum. They're fired up right now. You know, they're getting Peter Musa back after coming out from the suspension against the Vancouver team, who's probably going to come out pissed off. So they're going to need everything they have. They're going to have to match the intensity of Vancouver. That's the only way I see them getting the job done. You go into Vancouver, you have to pop them in the mouth. You have to get momentum going early. And if they can do that, who knows how far this team can go.
Yeah, they're going to have to perform in Vancouver because our win over Vancouver on decision day was our first win in Vancouver since 2018. This is a tough place to win. I mean, Gunnar, do you see it happening?
We always talk about teams playing their best, ball right before the season and when you want to play it. You don't want to play it early and, you know, get on a cold streak right before the playoffs start. We are playing our best ball right now. We have this momentum. We know it's not like, usually like when you're a lower seed facing a higher, you're an underdog, you're kind of doubting yourself. We already have, that mentality of, oh, we just beat these guys. Like, we know we're better than them.
And like Jacob said, we're getting Peter Musa back. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. He was top 5 in the MLS in goals. I mean, and Vancouver has been experiencing a lot of injuries to that center back pairing. You know, Tristan Blackman's out. You got Sean Lau out. There's a lot of people that are injured for them. I mean, do you think that Peter Musa is going to be able to make an impact in this series?
I think he is. I think he's going to be able to penetrate to the back line. He's going to get shots on target. He's going to create opportunities. FC Dallas has to play again through Peter Musa, in my opinion, because coming from Vancouver, Thomas Mueller, you know, they have people that are coming out ready to, like I said, kind of pissed off. And so if they're going to want to pull this out, they're going to have to control the pace. They're going to have to play through their best players. And right now, I think that's Peter Musa.
Look, Peter Musa had 18 goals and 6 assists in the games he did have before the injury, right? Look, like you mentioned, Vancouver, they're very injured. They're very weak right now. We can come back from this. And as long as we sit deep and play a good low block and beat them on that counterattack, we should be fine.
Yeah, we'll have to neutralize some big threats with, you know, Thomas Mueller, one of the biggest names in MLS. We got to hold him in check, and hopefully we can. But looking at the league, you know, widely, we have some talented teams. We have Miami. Speaking of talent, they have Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez. I mean, Rodrigo de Paul. I could name them forever. I mean, do you guys think that offensive talent's going to be enough to overcome the defensive woes?
Personally, my biggest thing with Inter Miami is they have to maintain possession. That's what it's going to come down to. If they want to win these games, because obviously you said they're talented on the offensive side. The defensive side is very suspect. So if they're going to want to pull these games out, they're going to want to make a deep run. Like, I think they can. They're going to have to control possession, kind of, you know, and if that means you're not taking as many shots as you are, you're playing a little, you know, kind of keep away from the opposing team that they're playing, whoever the opponent's going to be, then I think that they can get it done. They just play controlled soccer.
So, Jacob, you said you think they're going to make a deep run. Do you think they're going to win the conference? What are your conference predictions? Let's get them.
I have Inter Miami on the other side, and on the other side is San Diego. And then taking it all, I'm going to stick through Messi and the experience. Give me Inter Miami.
All right, bro, come on. Bro, stop. I'm not giving you Inter Miami.
I mean, it's tough to bet against Messi. Gunnar, you don't have Inter Miami? What are your picks?
Okay, like you said, they're a little bit of an older team. I think Inter Miami is very suspect to injury, especially a guy like Busquets. You need possession. If a guy like Busquets gets injured and they're getting gettable on the counterattack, it could look bad. My predictions right now is I share your sentiment. All right, I got San Diego coming out of the West, but from the East, I'm thinking Cincinnati. They've looked really good this year. The 2 seed, I have them making out.
I can't see San Diego coming out because, as we just learned, Chucky Lozano is having incidents in the locker room. He yelled at the coaches, and he's now missing game 1 of the playoffs because of that. So without Chucky Lozano, I don't know how much I believe in San Diego. I kind of believe in Inter Miami, and I think that it'll probably be Inter Miami Vancouver. I really think Vancouver is a great team. And I got Vancouver winning it all. I think Thomas Mueller and that new coach, I think Jesper Sorensen has them playing really attacking soccer, and I really like what they've been doing. I think they're winning it all.
See, I'm just a little bit, I'm weary about the injuries of Vancouver. And if I pick Vancouver right now, I'm already picking Dallas to lose. And as a Dallas fan, I can't do that. Right?
You never want to see Dallas lose.
Come
You never want to see Dallas lose. But we will have to see in the MLS playoffs. You know, we're going to see. And that's all I have this week. Join us next week on Tuesday and Thursday. I've been your host. Have a great day.